This week on the Mindful Men podcast.
So what I'm going to do today is show you a therapy tool that I've actually used in my clinical sessions with clients about exactly how we actually catch the negative thought, so recognize it in the first place, and then flip the script and create a positive alternative that we can tell ourselves, which enables us to move forward. And I've done this a few times with clients and one really recently. So this is again why I thought this would be a cool topic to discuss on the podcast. So if you're driving, just take note of some of these I'm about to go through. There's quite a few. So I'll go through the negative, discourse or the negative, unhelpful story that we tell ourselves, and then I'll give you an alternative. Some of these might resonate with you, some of them might not. If you're not driving or you're not walking around or you're not doing whatever, you've got a pen and paper, it might be helpful to grab one of those and jot a few down, particularly if they resonate with you as well. So here we go. I'm going to go through them. So starting off with the negative discourse and finishing off with the positive alternative that we can tell ourselves. So the first one is a biggie, and it's I'm not good enough. How many times have we all heard this one or said this one to ourselves? I'm not good enough. And an easy way to reframe this is simply remove the word not. I'm good enough. Well, I am good enough. It's a simple way to change that because we are good enough. We can look ourselves in the mirror and say, I'm good enough. The more we say it, the more it will stick. And then we will turn off that negative discourse that tells us that we're not good enough into one that's positive. I am good enough. So that's a great example to start with. And I'll go through the other ones a bit quicker, just so that we're not here for an hour and a half talking about negative discourses and positive discourses. Next one is it's too hard. It's too hard to do this. It's too hard to do that. It's too hard to do something else. An easy way to reframe that is add a few more words like this and go, no matter how hard it seems or how hard it appears, I'm going to give it a go. Now, this one's a bit longer and there's a purpose behind this. I find that we can acknowledge the difficulty in a task, whether or not that's starting a podcast or starting a business or giving up alcohol or drugs or changing a relationship. So we can acknowledge it. It's a very mindfulness practice in itself. And then say what action we're going to do with it. And so in this case, it's I'm going to give it a go. So again, no matter how hard it seems or appears, I'm going to give it a go. The next one is one that's pretty simple. I can't do it. How many times do we say I can't do it to ourselves? An easy way to reframe that is I can do it. You can do it. We can do it. It might be hard, but we can still do it. The next one is for all the parents out there or all the shift workers or all the people that work really hard jobs or do really long hours in study or whatever they do. I'm too tired. How many times have we all told ourselves I'm too tired? And again, acknowledging it, but then showing up anyway. So we go, yes, I'm tired, but I'm going to show up anyway. Or yes, I'm tired, but I'm still going to give it a go. Or yes, I'm tired, I'm still going to do it tomorrow or this afternoon or tonight. Give ourselves some time if we need to recharge, enough to give things a go. Next one is I'm too busy. How many times have we all said this? I say this a lot in my business. I'm a small business owner, so I'm a jack of all trades. I have to do the therapy, the marketing, the admin, the finances, all of the above. And often I feel like I'm too busy. I'm too busy to create a podcast episode, or I'm too busy to contact someone, or I'm too busy to do social media posts, or whatever it is. But we can reframe that and we can say, I'll find the time. Or I have been busy, but I'll move a few things around and make this a priority. Now, that might not necessarily be right now, but it could be tomorrow, next week, next month. It's recognizing that, yes, we are busy, but we're going to find the time. We're committing to finding the time. So again, it's another shift from the negativity, I'm too busy, to I'm going to find the time. That's positive. Next one is I feel too scared. How many times does that come up? I'm too scared about what's going to be the outcome if I do this or that. An example could be, for me, I'm too scared to set up a group program because I'm worried that people won't rock up. So a way that we can reframe this is, yes, I'm feeling scared, but I've got this. I'm going to do this, or I am doing this. Easy way to reframe it. So acknowledging that we're scared, but still progressing with action. This one's, I don't feel confident. I don't feel confident to do that, or to be here, or to engage with this. An easy way to reframe that is think of all the progress I will make. So in that one, we're not even acknowledging that we're not confident. We're just saying, think of all the progress I'm going to make. Or it could be that we do acknowledge it and goes, yeah, I'm not feeling confident, but with action, I'm going to make progress, or with action, I'm going to grow. So again, we're reframing it to positive action. The next one is a biggie, and I think it's similar to the one I feel too scared before, is I'll fail. I'll fail if I do this. People won't show up to that group program if I create it. People won't buy that online course if I create it and put it out there. I had that with my business. People won't call me and book in for therapy. I'm going to be a failure as a business owner. So an easy way we can reframe that is to say, this is going to work. Or if that's too much of a pressure point, because you're saying this is going to work, you could say this may work out. So it softens it a little bit as well. Sometimes we need to reach for the stars and say, this is going to work. Be really super positive. Sometimes paring it back a little bit with a may or might is an easy way to bring it down a notch and not feel like you haven't achieved it if you haven't, rolled something out or done something. Really important. The next one is, this will go badly. And it's similar to I'll fail, or this will fail. So it will go badly. And an easy way to reframe that is, this might go well. Or another one could be, growth happens when things are tough. So even in that one, we're acknowledging that things might go bad, but often the growth happens when, things are bad, or we fail, or we don't complete things. We learn all about ourselves a lot in those processes. Another one is, others won't like it. And this is a big one because we often worry about what other people think. I do this as well. And a way we can reframe that, so instead of saying others won't like it, we could say, I'm doing this for me. How good is that? To bring it back onto ourselves. Don't worry about what other people are thinking. Worry about what we're doing. I'm doing this for me. Or I'm doing this for my wife or my partner. Or I'm doing this for my kids. Or I'm doing this for the one person that did show up to that group program. This is a big one that I experienced in the podcasting space. As I said in previous episodes, sometimes it feels like you're talking to an empty room. Or sometimes we feel like, we've only got so many listeners or subscribers. It's just so much less than the person that we're watching. And a way that we can look at that and change that discourse is going, you know what? Let's service those 50 people that did show up in the room, or those 50 people that did subscribe to the podcast, or whatever it is. Show up for the people that do show up, because they're the ones you want to invest your energy in. Not worried about the millions of other people on other people's podcasts or programs or whatever. Just focus on us. It's a great way to look at things. Another one could be, other things will get in the way. And this is, interesting, because as a small business owner, things get in the way. For example, 1 minute I think I'm doing one thing, but the next thing I get a phone call and I'm doing something different. And so it stalls a lot of progress. And often that stifles us, stifles our growth or the opportunities that we take. We overanalyze everything. So instead of other things will get in the way, we could say, I'm going to be flexible with whatever happens. Flexibility is amazing. If you can bounce between things, it can really enable success, or enables us to take opportunities. This one is one of my favorites. It's too late. It's too late to do this, or it's too late to do that, or I'm too old, even maybe. If you put an age to it, I'm too old to start this or start that or do this. I like to always say to this one, it's better late than never. Now, I hate being late. Notoriously, I'm early for things, but I still feel that it's better to show up late or to start late than never start at all. Arriving late doesn't mean you failed. It just means that your time frame might be a little bit out. You've still done it. You still got there. It's like running a marathon and they've closed up all the finish line before you even got there. And recognizing that, yeah, maybe the finish line's gone and everyone's gone home, the media's gone, the people clapping on the side of the road have gone, but at least you still got there. You were late, but you did it. And that's a pretty extreme case, and I don't know if anyone's actually ever experienced that. I've never experienced it, but it comes to mind. And rocking up late is okay. We need to be okay with that type of stuff. That helps us move on. The next one is too little. So maybe we're thinking about doing something, but the reward that we're expecting isn't enough to even warrant doing it in the first place. So it could be, for this group, I keep bringing up the group program because group programs are on my mind at the moment, but maybe just one person will rock up and I want 10 people to rock up. And if we get stuck in this negativity, this negative mindset of things being too little or not enough, then we never grow, we never try things. And in fact, we don't service that one person who did rock up, or we don't support that one person who did rock up. We always think that we need 1 million people to follow us, or 1 million people in our social circles, or whatever. We need abundance, we need lots and lots and lots. But in fact, we don't need that. We need quality, not quantity. The last one I'll talk about, because I've rambled on a whole bunch of them, and hopefully some of them have stuck out for you, is there's no point. There's no point. How many times have we said that to ourselves? There's no point doing this, or there's no point starting that. And it's reinforced by some of these other things. Like there's no point, I'm too busy, or there's no point, I'm too tired, or there's no point, I can't do it, or it's too hard. A way we can reframe that is saying, what can I learn from this? So sometimes we don't know what the point is, and also until after the fact, after we've done something or achieved something or said something or engaged in something. Sometimes the point doesn't come immediately, and it comes years afterwards. That's okay. It's part of the living process. It's part of the growth. It's part of the self-development process. So there's always a point to something. It just might not be obvious when we expect it to be. So again, instead of saying there's no point, it's what can I learn from this? Or maybe we could say the point will reveal itself at some point, or the point will reveal itself when it needs to, or when it's the right time. So these are a whole list of unhelpful stories that we tell ourselves. These are often quite common ones that I talk about with guys in my therapy clinic, or people that I talk with in my networks, also ones that I've thought about myself. And as I've highlighted, it's really easy to reframe them, change them into positive ones. But it takes a bit of practice as well. Once we reframe them, we've got to tell them to ourselves. It takes 21 days or so to create a habit. So the more we tell ourselves these positive alternatives, the more we start to believe it and feel it and then live it.